So when you're talking with family members, friends that might say, gosh, I'm getting XYZ going on, what are some of the early symptoms, early signs? These can be kind of the tips or tells that let you know that multiple sclerosis could be on the factor for them. So multiple sclerosis can develop all at once, or the symptoms can be so mild that you dismiss them. Three of the most common early symptoms of multiple sclerosis are these. One, numbness and tingling that affects the arms, legs, or one side of the face. The sensations are similar to the pins and needles feeling you get when your foot falls asleep. They occur without a trigger. So you're going to get that numbness and tingling, those pins and needles that you would get from falling asleep, but there is no falling asleep. You didn't stop the flow of blood from sleeping on your arm. They just occur. Number two, uneven balance and weak legs. So you might find yourself tripping easily while walking or doing some other type of physical activity, and you're not getting the same response that you typically do through your legs in either strength, so power output, or you find yourself stumbling more often and you're not sure why. The third one is the double vision, the diplopia. Blurry vision can also be a factor in one eye, or partial vision loss. So any of those can be a tell that you might have a multiple sclerosis diagnosis. It isn't uncommon for these early symptoms to go away and then to return later. So you might go weeks, months, or even years between flare-ups. And these symptoms can have a lot of different causes. Even if you have the symptoms, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have multiple sclerosis. The key is those are the top three. Numbness and tingling that affects the arms, legs, or the face. Number two, uneven balance and weak legs. And number three, double vision, blurry vision in the eyes, or partial vision loss. So those are the things you're trying to look for family and friends that possibly might need to be evaluated for multiple sclerosis. Other different risk factors that you want to look for with multiple sclerosis. So the exact cause is unknown. However, there are several risk factors for developing multiple sclerosis, and that's key. And this is another tip that can help family members, friends, or other people that you care about on trying to minimize the chance of developing multiple sclerosis. So the risk factors include these. One, having a close relative with multiple sclerosis. So if you have a parent, a sibling that has multiple sclerosis, there is a risk factor that increases that you might. Number two, obesity. Individuals with obesity have an increased risk factor for multiple sclerosis. Number three, smoking. Smoking also increases your risk factor for multiple sclerosis. And the fourth one is certain autoimmune disorders. So take type 1 diabetes, that increases your risk factor, but also rheumatoid arthritis. If you look at rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, smoking, obesity, and family member. So what do you do with that information? Well, everybody you could go through and start making a little checklist of the risk factors for multiple sclerosis. And it's more just like all your other risk factors. It just gives you information to see if that you're possibly at risk. And some of those you can modify. You can't really modify your family members. And you can't always control that if you get rheumatoid arthritis or type 1 diabetes, that's not always controllable. But we know the other factors from smoking, obesity, and type 2 diabetes, even though I didn't mention that. Those are areas that we might be able to influence.